I stemmed for about 8 days, and some of the medications I was on were like Gano F, Menopur, Cetratide. I used to mix the Gano F and the Menopur together when it was time to do that, so it could be one needle instead of taking multiple. Um, After I stemmed, I would go in during stimulation. I would go in every 2 to 3 days to get my follicles checked to see what size they were. By day 8, they were ready. After that, I did my trigger shot. I did it twice, 12 hours apart from each other. And then the following morning, after my trigger was done, I went in to do my egg retrieval. They put me to sleep, and it's kind of like a sleep where you're like, you don't even know you sleep. Every time I do it, I find myself waking up like, they ain't start yet. And then the nurse come like, oh, you can't pee, you gotta wait, you gotta hold it, or something of that nature. And it's like, oh man, because you gotta let the medication, whatever. But it's a fast, quick, and office procedure. I stemmed. I did my medication. I did my blood work, ultrasounds, everything with CNY. I traveled from the Bronx to Albany every 2 to 3 days. Both times that I did IVF with them, that's what I did. I don't see myself doing anything else because for me personally, I would rather be with the people, doing everything. I know somebody who went somewhere else and that doctor's advice was different from the advice that they gave at CNY. So she called me for my advice. And I'm like, I never got the feeling from that they were still wrong. So if that's what they tell you, then yeah, I would definitely go with them. If they feel like something is wrong or it's not going right or, whatever, they will stop you. They will be honest with you, from what I've seen. Like when I first started my procedure, they tried to stop me because my initial blood work for when I still had my period. So it starts off for your period. The second or third day, you go in and you get your blood drawn, and then they see your levels, your FSH, whatever. It's another one that starts TSH, I believe. The hormones, and see, your follicle count, stuff of that nature. If that's not right, then they will call you. So they called me and they said, hey, we think that you should wait and try again next month, because I was like maybe like a point off from what they would usually recommend. But because I've spent these 5 years doing my research and getting to know my body, when I was 23 years old, my infertility doctor that I had at that point told me that in blood work, basically, my follicle count looks low. But on an ultrasound, it's decent, like it's good. So my first retrieval, I got 13 eggs. My second retrieval, I got 19 eggs. So because I knew myself, I was able to tell the nurse that called, like, hey, no, I'm not going to stop. We're going to keep going because next month is not going to change. That's just my body make. And my eggs are on a decline for my age. I already knew that about myself. Because I knew that about myself, I knew, the best decisions to make for me. I say this all the time, right? Doctors, specialists, they know the field. They know what they study. And I give them props and credit for that. But nobody is the same. Whatever works for you don't have to work for me. More importantly, just as well as they know their jobs, you have to know your body. And you have to be secure and sure with every decision that you make. And you have to have a doctor that makes you believe that it is possible. Even if it's not going to happen today, even if it's not going to happen tomorrow, even if it's not going to happen next year. They have to make you feel like it is possible. Because if they are having doubts, it will make you have doubts. And in this world, you cannot live with doubts. You have to be sure that if not today, not tomorrow, someday, you will be a mom. It may not look the same for all of us. But you have to be sure that one day, whatever is meant for you is going to happen for you. You have to have that confidence. And if you meet any doctor that takes that confidence away from you, get a new one. Get a new one. Never be afraid to advocate for yourself. Never be afraid to say, I need somebody else to do it. This is not going to work out. That's fine. Don't ever be afraid to say that.